Welcome back. We have Jack and Tara Haines with Hoof and Iron Farrier Service. They're new to the area, and you're here, and you're going to tell us what you do, and we've got some pictures that we're going to show, and you're going to talk about those. So how are you guys doing? Thank you for coming.
Doing great.
So glad to have you here. So tell us.
Where'd you come from? I want to know where they came from.
Yeah, where did you come from?
We came from Billings, Montana.
Okay. That's horse country. There's a lot of horses out there?
A lot of horses.
Yeah, okay.
Cowboys, horses.
Yeah? So why did you move here?
Honestly, we don't know. We just kind of,
That's a typical answer.
Yeah, we kind of just came. You know, winters are getting tough, and being a farrier, my joints ache every day. So weather was kind of conducive to shoeing horses, so we decided to.
Beautiful country.
And beautiful here.
Had you ever been here before you moved here?
I had
Wow.
a few friends that lived
Oh,
here, but
okay.
So it was a leap of faith. That's
Leap
awesome.
of faith.
Wow.
Bought our house online on the internet. Modern. I guess that's the way we do it.
That's the way you do everything on
Yeah,
the internet
yeah.
now, yeah.
So, but yeah, we've been really happy, and people have been kind and welcoming. So it's been nice.
Good, good.
And the weather's nice.
So tell us about what you do and what services you provide.
Well, we are an AFA certified farrier service. We do all aspects of hoof care on equine horses. Anything from basic trims to shoeing to lameness issues. So we kind of cover all aspects of what the horse needs.
And where did you go to school to learn all that?
I went and did my apprenticeship and certification at Heartland in Lamar, Missouri. And then every year we continue our education by going to clinics, going back to Lamar and doing courses, whether it's blacksmithing or, advanced farrier work.
Learning all the new stuff that comes along.
Well, yeah, just educating, not so much new stuff, because farrier practice is one of the oldest in history. It dates back to, I believe, the 1300s.
Yeah.
So, and not much has changed. We apply things a little differently now, but it's kind of neat when you pick up the old books and still see the shoes they had then. We are actually using some of them today. So it's so there's a lot of history in what we do. But,
when I was growing up, my uncle had horses, and he would do his own, filing and stuff like that. But I'm learning that you really need to know what you're doing to I guess avoid problems in your horse.
Right.
Is that right? Or
yeah, it's correct. A lot of people pick up the foot and they're focused on the foot. And then when you advance and become an educated farrier, you shoe the whole horse. So there's things that we can do through farrier work.
Do you look at a horse's the way they stand, and then you determine what kind of work you need to do?
Yeah, I always want to see a horse walk to me and walk away from me, and then it's going to help me decide what I need to do.
Yeah.
Whether it be if I have to put some kind of special shoe on to help the horse. If we have a horse that paddles a lot. So there's a lot of things. If we have deformities in the leg, there's certain ways that we can help that horse.
Okay.
Everything we do as a farrier, we want to be able to help the animal, but try to stay as natural as possible.
Yeah. Now you sent me quite a few photos of feet and your work and different things, and you sent them to me in groups. I guess do you want to start off with group one?
Sure.
and see how we can.
Well, here's the finished foot after we got done trimming it and gathering it up.
Okay.
And we can see the redness in a very border of that toe area. That's caused by the horse being out of balance for a long
This
period.
is a shoe taken off.
This is a shoe taken off,
okay.
and then me trimming the foot. So that the red in the toe, there's the shoe, how the foot looked prior to us doing it.
All right.
Then we can show the damage that was caused by the horse being allowed to grow out.
I was going to say the shoe looked a little small.
Yeah, and we can see to the right that heel quarter all the way in the back of the foot has been pushed forward. Well,
now you see all that, but I don't.
Yeah.
But I mean that's okay. I mean that's good that you have that knowledge to say can look at a horse and say this horse needs this or this horse needs that.
Yeah, so it just needs to be balanced out. We want to ultimately the goal as a farrier is we want to get the foot as close to a 50-50 50-50 balance point in the foot when we're trimming
okay.
it, because that is going to help the horse move naturally.
Okay. So, you want to go to group 2 or?
Yeah, and there we can kind of see how the foot has been allowed to grow. So in this horse we'd have some kind of deformity in the leg, whether it be an angular deformity or a flexion deformity. In this case, it's an angular deformity. We can see how it's
Okay.
abusing that flat side of the foot.
Yeah, the hoof doesn't look symmetrical.
Right.
It doesn't look
Right.
round and.
So in this case, and here's when we start to trim the foot, we can start to gather it back up and see what we need to do and how we need to support the foot
okay.
via a shoe.
All right.
And that's the finished product when we're done.
That looks stable. I mean, I don't know anything about it, but
Yeah.
that looks like, you see some horses and they almost look like they're skating upwards,
Exactly.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's flaring.
yeah.
So,
Good,
and
okay.
if we allow that to flare, it's going to keep flaring and it's going to crack.
And it
it's
puts
just
a
gonna
lot of
look-
pressure on the heel, I guess, or.
Oh yeah, if we get horses that are, what we look for in a horse is what we call a polymer angle in the front feet, and that's for a perfect alignment of the bones, all coming down all the way to bony column. So if we have a negative or positive in there, like if we have a negative angle, we set the horse back on its heels, which then we
okay.
run into a multitude of problems where we crush the soft tissue and we can create
Okay.
navicular syndrome in the horse. So it's really, really important that Ferrier understands
Yeah.
anatomy of the animal.
Okay.
And I can't stress that enough. If anything, they have to understand the anatomy.
Well, let's look at the other more groups of photos there. That doesn't look good.
No, and this is the same horse. You can kind of see the opposite foot that we're having
Oh, okay.
same issues. So the horse is
Toe
toe in.
in.
Yeah,
Toe in, I guess.
toe
yeah.
in. So they're going to tend to abuse the inside of their feet.
I guess it's like an automobile. If you got too much toe in, your tires going to
Exactly.
wear out.
Yep.
Put too much pressure on one side.
And it's a finished product.
Okay.
And there's just a shoe on the other foot.
Okay.
When we pull the shoe off, we're just trying to find, points to where I can find where the foot is and then start to gather it. We call
Okay.
it gathering up, getting the foot symmetrical, and that's that same foot finished. And this one here, we can kind of see where it's cracking on the
On the
inside.
left side, or the left side there, yeah.
And then we can see in the tip of that toe roll, that little indentation is black.
Oh.
We start to have white line disease, which I'm finding in this area is pretty common
Okay.
because of the humidity and moisture
yeah,
constantly.
moisture. Okay.
Right.
So as a farrier, we want to address that. And that same foot that's shod now.
Okay.
And that's just a foot cleaned up and fit properly.
I was going to say, that looks awesome.
Textbook.
And that's one of my jumping horses back in Montana. That's an old retired Grand Prix eventer.
Did you get to bring your horses with you, or?
Yes,
Okay,
we brought
good.
ours with me.
Yeah.
This is the barn I fly back to Montana and work on every 6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And you can kind of see the difference in a finished foot and one that's.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
These guys are athletes. They do a lot of cross-country eventing. So we need to really keep them in, as an athlete, we got to keep their feet good.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan doesn't wear combat boots playing basketball.
Yeah, I was
No.
going to say, a lot of people don't understand that if you don't have a good hoof on a horse, you don't have a horse.
No.
So,
And this is that prior picture. This is the
Okay.
hoof already gathered up and finished. And you can kind of see where we have a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
distortion in that foot.
Yeah. Cool.
And same thing going on here. We have a crack in that toe area. That's is a white line disease, and that's a bacteria that kind of eats in between the hard outside of the foot and the soft laminae.
okay.
So it actually will eat up into that foot. And as a farrier, we need to address that because it's detrimental to that horse.
Right, okay.
now, the outside of the hoof is like a fingernail, right? But it does have blood flow.
The outside of the hoof doesn't have blood flow. It's
Not the outside, but I mean, where the soft part begins.
yes, yeah.
Right.
If you go too far, you will see red. So that's another thing about understanding the anatomy of the foot is when we're trimming a foot, we have a really white, flaky hoof that comes off, and then it turns into like a yellowish. It'll change colors. Well, once we get to that color change, then we need to stop because the next color is going to be red, and that's what we
what's
don't
tender
want.
and yeah.
Yeah. You know, and honestly, I think farriers nowadays use weight, take too much foot off. You know, if I watch a guy trim the heck out of a foot and then put a pad on and wonder why did you trim the foot that
Deep,
shallow
yeah,
and then
yeah.
have to put a pad on? Why not just leave the natural padding that's already there for the animal?
yeah.
So, you know, that's stuff that through education that we're starting to learn that we can leave it,
Yeah, okay.
and it's going to help the horse.
Now, if somebody is interested and they call you, who are they going to talk to?
You're
My
gonna
lovely
talk
wife,
to
Tara.
It was a nice little segue to you, right?
Oh, thanks.
We'll just get you to talk. We're going to have to talk
she's
now.
the other half of the business,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I'm behind the scenes.
So, yeah, and of course, you know what to talk to people about on the phone, and
For the most
I
part,
mean,
yeah.
I'm sure they've got questions that I've got a horse that does this. Can you help me with that? And so,
If
can
not,
you answer
then
some of those? Yeah.
Some of the basic
Yeah.
stuff. I'm
Yeah.
learning. Yeah.
Well, let people know that you guys live in the Gasville area.
Yes.
So you actually cover our entire viewing area over in Mountain Home and also Harrison. And you said you go up into Missouri?
Yeah, Springfield, Missouri is probably
Okay.
about our limit. So we try to stay
wow.
within a 2.5 hour radius
Okay.
of our home base.
And can you come out and evaluate horses? I know you can't do that for nothing. You'd be driving all over, people asking questions. But can they talk to you on the phone? Can they interact with you other ways? How about Facebook or?
Yep, we have a Facebook page.
And it's listed as Hoof and Iron Farrier, is that right?
Yeah, Hoof and Iron Farrier Service and Equine, or Hoof and Iron Farrier Equine Service. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry,
All right.
I don't say that very often.
Now, do you do emergency work?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You want to talk a little bit about what you do there, or?
Well, you know, we do any kind of lameness issue to me is an emergency. When we have a
Okay.
sore horse, then it needs to be addressed. And my concern is if the horse is that lame, it can't walk well, can't eat, and it can't get water, so we have an emergency. We do not so much here, but back in Montana, we worked with all the major vets. And so, you know, if we have a case that comes up, a lameness issue,
Yeah.
we address it immediately.
Well, I can tell you that that's probably coming because I know that there's a lot of vets around the area, and we have tried to get farriers in the past, and sometimes you can't get them. So it's I'm glad you're here because it's good to have a reliable source that we can recommend.
Thank you.
So if you're interested in a farrier service, if you have a horse, if you're a new person that has a horse, you need to take care of those feet, give them a call. Number will be on the screen or at the end of the program, and I'm sure Jack or Tara can help you.
Don't ever get too busy. Remember us.
You are first.
And in bad weather, we will be setting up at Bar None Cowboy Church in
Oh, okay.
Midway.
Okay.
We're a member of the church, and they offer the
Okay.
facility so that we can bring people in.
Oh,
if it's
okay.
snowing or icy out, and we have a horse that has problems, we have the ability to use that
good,
space,
good.
which is great.
That's excellent.
You know, so
Well, welcome to the area.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank
you
you so much.
so much for coming on the show, and well, we'll personally see you on the 27th. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Thank you for having us.
well, up next we're going to have. I'm not sure Fred is here.
Let's go to Glenn. I don't think
We'll
Fred's here.
be talking to Glenn Wolf with Warp 66 Studios. So stick around.